Good morning, everyone. It's currently 7 a.m. right now in the desert, and the weather is actually perfect today. Today, I'm taking you on a full day in my garden as I feed the animals, water my plants, transplant, harvest a few vegetables on this beautiful day. And if you're new here, my name is Shanice from Sunshine Gardens. After I feed the animals, I go and harvest my vegetables, like some tomatoes growing out of a stump. This is our first time growing tomatoes in a stump, and they're actually doing really good. This tomato plant is very healthy, and the tomatoes are very red and juicy. Even though the temperatures have risen to the 90s, my lettuce is still doing good. These were planted several months ago. As long as I keep producing lettuce, I will allow them to keep growing. Until, of course, it gets too hot or the pests get to them. And look who it is, Miss Stormy. She might want a tomato. But look at all this goodness. I have so much lettuce and tomatoes this year. So much more tomatoes than I had last year. Yeah, it looked like Stormy wanted a little bite of a tomato, and sharing is caring. It's also a very healthy snack for them too. Now I have a few things that need to be done in my raised garden bed, but it is very nice, green, and lush. So on the side here, we have some kale that needs to be trimmed down. I have a beet plant that I let just keep growing, and now it's going to go to seed, so I'm just waiting for it to produce some seeds. Underneath the beet plant, I have a few herbs growing like spearmint. And right next to it, we have a borage plant, and you could actually use the flowers in tea as well. Somehow I have some wildflowers growing in this garden bed, and a few of them have some beautiful purple tips and some ground cover flowers like this one. To get in this garden bed, I actually had to climb over, and I only do this because I really need netting around this garden bed to keep out the animals. And as you can see, it's working because look at this garden bed, nice and lush. Now that I'm in here, it's time to start trimming. So every other week I have to trim down this Swiss chard plant, and I like to have this plant in here because it actually keeps the other plants well shaded. Alright, so I trimmed down a lot of the Swiss chard plant, and I was able to harvest a lot of my lettuce as well. That was back over here in the corner. And I'm still surprised that it's producing, which is why I leave the Swiss chard, because it creates like a microclimate. And it is kind of cool that the wildflowers are actually growing with everything. They all kind of get along. And I went ahead and grabbed some spearmint for some nice tea later. And here's the big harvest for March, lettuce and tomatoes with a little bit of mint. But what does one do with all this Swiss chard? Some people might want to toss it, but I actually use it for compost. As long as the plant doesn't have any signs of diseases or pests, I usually go ahead and compost it. And if you want to be a more self-sufficient gardener, composting is the way to go. It's organic, fun, and a good way to save money. And then afterwards, I'll take it to my compost area where my worms will help me break down the organic matter. Now on to my next project. I'm going to be doing some transplanting in one of my little grow bags. I have cucumber that we started from seed that needs to be transplanted. However, I still have some cold season vegetables like this Brussels sprouts, so I'll just go ahead and remove and plant the cucumber in its space. I even have to block off this area to keep the animals and cats out, but it works. So at this time, I'm basically replacing my winter plants that didn't quite make it with summertime vegetables that I started from seed a few weeks ago. So in this area, I'm going to be planting 4 cucumbers. This will be the second time I'm growing cucumber in my garden. I grew it last year and it was really fun. I actually produced quite a few cucumbers. But they do get pests, so I will be checking them regularly. They look so cute in this area, and I'll make sure to do progress videos. Now we're going to go to the front of my house. We have a very tall hollyhock growing up here. This is the tallest one in my whole garden, which started growing back in December. And now it's in full bloom and so beautiful. And thanks to our huge mulberry tree, there's so much shade up here. Now it's time to clean up all the water containers that I leave out for the wildlife birds. And of course my duck has one up here as well. So let's get started. Since we live in the desert and it's so hot outside, as a gardener, I not only just grow plants, but I also like to provide water for the wildlife. We also have some beautiful blooms up here that actually support the hummingbirds, like this Cape honeysuckle. I have a 4-year-old Madagascar periwinkle growing in a pot, white morning glory bushes that provide shade, and a cute little pink mini hollyhock, newly planted cactus, and unfortunately only a few wildflowers this year due to the weather. However, I have more heat tolerant plants that I'm growing in this area, which was really hard for us to do last year. I have this beautiful orange succulent type of flower. I'm not sure the name of it. And a lily plant growing very well up here. We got this poinsettia during December and it's still red and still blooming. The wildlife birds have been eating like crazy, so I need to fill up my bird container. It's completely empty. They get the top of the bird feeder a little dirty, so I'm just gonna go ahead and scrub it down, which will prevent diseases from spreading. This should last them a few days. Moving forward to the side of my yard, we have cactus that we just planted this year, my neighbor's oleanders, which look really pretty, and the red Mexican bird of paradise. My last video, we really trimmed it down and it has grown so much since then. It even started flowering. My neighbor's hibiscus also bloomed as well. She's actually more like a family friend and has been our neighbor for a very long time. I'm not sure all the cactus names at the moment, but they are doing very well. I see a lot of growth on them, which means that they took root to the soil. And in the future, they'll start growing a lot more. This area gets a lot of sun, so that's why we decided to plant a lot of cactus here. A few didn't make the transplant very well, but the majority of them survived. And when it starts heating up outside, the lizards come out. I love them and I see them all over my yard. Now it's 10 a.m. and it's 85 degrees. I don't really mind the heat that much, so I'll continue my garden chores and just go around and organize. My garden isn't perfect, but there's a lot of things that could be done daily. And my husband even leaves some piles for me to pick up. At least there's beautiful blooms to enjoy. Next up, I need to clean this pollinator water station. I left it underneath the bougainvillea and it got really dirty. So I'm just gonna clean it up and leave it in this location. That way it doesn't get that much plant debris in it. When you garden in the desert, it's really important to support the pollinators, especially by providing water. This creates a stable ecosystem where everyone benefits. We need to support the bees so that way they can continue to pollinate our plants. And of course, make honey. And let's not forget about the other beneficial insects like praying mantis, ladybugs, friendly pollinator beetles, and even butterflies and hummingbirds. And this is just a solar DIY water fountain that I got from Temu. And look how beautiful it looks. And after I did that, I spotted a butterfly. And I followed it around the garden. I see this butterfly often, and this one is native to Arizona. It's a Mormon meadowlark. It is now 3 a.m. at 95 degrees. I took a little break and I got some coffee, and it's time to continue on to the chores. I had some garlic chives growing in this area. They're already done for, so I'm just gonna cut them down and pull the grass around this area as well. This will prevent the grass from overspreading, and also good to throw in my compost pile. And since it wasn't that hot today, I'll go ahead and water while I'm doing my chores. I have a few plants that need to be trimmed back, like this Italian dandelion, and my basil plant that's growing with my peppers. And I do have to water my fabric raised garden beds daily and give them a really good deep soak. I haven't been watering too much this month, and everything is still growing very well. And don't forget to water your compost pile. On an exciting note, we have baby praying mantises that will help me battle the pest. I have a lot of basil plants growing all around my garden that I have to constantly prune. We even have sweet peas that are still growing. I hope they survive the summer, but we'll see how they do. And all I do is kind of help them climb up the chicken wire. I managed to grow a few plants on the side of my fence where it gets a lot of sun. It's definitely been challenging, but I grow a lot of my heat tolerant plants here. And look at that, I even have a little tree growing. Around 4 o'clock, my chickens get a little bit hungry, so I go ahead and give them a little snack. And the wild birds are eating from the bird feeder. And the most challenging part of my garden is the very back. This is where I have a hard time getting plants established. But as you can see, I do have a few plants growing back here. I have a lantana that's doing really good, a saguaro cactus and an aloe vera, a few hollyhocks, a line of baby aloe veras, and prickly pear cactus with new growth. On the other side, it's more shaded, so I have the chicken coop over here underneath our beautiful mesquite tree. Well, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching and spending a wonderful day in the garden with me. I hope you stay tuned for more desert gardening videos.